Hello Aries, and happy birthday to you. This is your month. It's your time to shine. You still have Jupiter in your sign where it will be staying for the rest of April and then change signs in the month of May. So do subscribe, like this video, and follow up of how when Jupiter moves out of your sign, how it will be impacting you. But for now, Jupiter is still in your sign, offering you a lot of luck, opportunities, expansion, and growth in the direction that you want to go within your life, Aries. So where do you want to move? What do you want to do? Definitely go for it. And sun, moon, and rising. So watch your sun, moon, and rising for all astrology videos to get a full picture and understanding of how the astrology is impacting you. Your sun sign is what you are motivated and working towards. Your rising sign is your external world, your day-to-day life, and also how others see you. And your moon sign is your private and emotional world. It's not what everyone sees. It's more reflective in your home life. So Aries, know that Jupiter is still with you. On the 3rd, we have Mercury entering into your second house. Along at this time, you will have Venus there in that second house with Uranus in your second house. And the second house has to do with money and finances, skills and talents. This is a great time for maybe money to come to you. Especially looking at your skills and talents, what changes you want to make with Uranus being there. And Venus is very good in the second house. It's very rewarding. Venus is about luxury when it comes to finances in the second house. Mercury will have you thinking, communicating, looking at your finances, maybe even negotiating, looking at contracts when it comes to your finances, especially as Mercury has to do with all things communication. So be prepared for that. It's a very rewarding time for you financially. On the 5th, 6th, you have a full moon happening in your 7th house. This full moon will be bringing to light any issues when it comes to relationships. And I said the 5th, 6th because it depends on your location of when the full moon will be happening for you. But the full moon will be in Libra on those days. And that's in your 7th house. And it's asking you to look at your relationships and what is out of balance for you, what needs changing and shifting in your relationships that are willing to grow and transform under this full moon, because the full moon is about letting go, releasing. So full moons being the fact that it's about letting go and releasing in your 7th house, it looks at your relationship and what you need to let go of and release. Relationships that are willing to evolve through the transformation that you are now embarking upon with this full moon will grow and prosper. Right? Relationships that are staying stuck and stagnant will not. This will also be a time where you might even feel like you want to end certain relationships. And this is important to be aware of, because come later in the year, in July, around July 17th of 2023, the North Node will be moving into the sign of Aries and the South Node will be moving into Libra. And that for you is, the North Node is about destiny, what you're moving towards, what you're working towards. And the 7th house is about relationships. And it's the South Node for you. And that's what you're lessening within your life. Meaning you will disconnect from relationships that are no longer in alignment to who you are evolving to become. So this will be a time where you are going through a transformation of self. You are now realigning to different goals, realigning to different things that you want. And relationships that support you and are there for you will grow with you. They are willing to evolve. But relationships that are not evolving will now come to an end. So this full moon is very important because of the shift of the nodes that are happening in July. So watch what happens around this full moon. And it's important because we are going to be in eclipse season. Now, on the 11th, we'll have Venus in your 3rd house. Venus in the 3rd house. Venus is about love, luxury, and beauty. Your words become sweetened. What you say to others is important. You can also have harmonious conversations with others, especially after the full moon. This will be a great time for healing with words and speaking to others about basically, how can you bring more harmony? Because the full moon will be at a point of tension for you. So this will be bringing you more harmony into your relationships, especially when it comes to communicating. This is really good if you want to network, when it comes to any financial deals, but you're communicating, you are thinking about, your money, you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about ways to make your environment also more pleasant. This will be a great time to maybe buy a beautiful plant, something that makes you feel good within your space. Or you might even think like, maybe I need a new desk, right? Things like that. Really good for communication and thinking about people and wanting to say, hey, I've been thinking about you, and sending out those kinds of messages. On the 19th, 20th, depending on your location, there's a new moon solar eclipse in your sign Aries, right? And this is a powerful eclipse for you, Aries. It is happening in your sign. This is a time of where you are realigning to your goals. When an eclipse happens within a person's sign, in their sign, this is major transformation. Now, eclipses are those times where things come to an end in order for new things to begin, and the energy takes us into the next 6 months. So the transformation that we experience over the eclipse cycle is where we are making changes to our lives. Now, for you, you're making changes to yourself. This is where you'll be looking at yourself and thinking, I want to let that part of myself go. I am evolving past that. I want different things. I want a new beginning in my life in alignment to me. I have new goals. And this is a deep transformation that is happening. And this won't be the only point. It will continue on for 2.5 years after we have the node shift on the 17th of July 2023, North Node being in Aries. And that's why we're already starting this eclipse cycle within your sign. This is transformation of self. And when it comes to your relationships, it won't only be love relationships that you'll be looking at. It's work relationships, anywhere where you have to be one-on-one with someone, right? A relationship, a friendship, a family member, love, single. You will be going through this transformation of where you are realigning to your most authentic self, and there are shifts happening within you about you as a person and what you want to achieve and what you want to go after. This is a new beginning of self. And due to that, you will see changes that will happen to all your relationships all round. So that's important to be aware of. On the 20th, the sun will enter into your second house. This is really good. Now, the sun will offer you a lot of opportunities when it comes to finances, and really looking at what you want to bring when it comes to your finances and what you are feeling motivated to pursue with the sun when it comes to your finances. On the 21st, Mercury retrograde. And Mercury will be retrograde into May. On the 14th of May, Mercury will be going direct. So from the 21st of April, Mercury is a planet of miscommunication, misunderstandings, conflict. Mercury rules communication, but when it's retrograde, it can bring misunderstandings, conflict, mental fog, and in your second house. So let's talk about how this can impact you in a more challenging manner, right? This is where maybe you didn't pay something, and now Mercury retrograde will bring that bill to you, and it's affecting your finances. This is a time where you'll be maybe like a bit more forgetful about payments that you need to make. This is also a time with Mercury retrograde here, especially, it can make you more forgetful. You can find your finances feel a bit stagnant, like they're not growing in the direction that you wanted to grow, especially during the retrograde period. But know that it won't last forever. It's just 3 weeks. So during that time, it's about better money management and looking at how you've been managing your finances. So if you get ahead of this earlier in the month, right, it'll definitely be better for you if you get ahead of this, your spending, because the Mercury retrograde will show you where have you been overspending, and now you didn't realize you have that bill, and now that bill comes in. Conflict and communication over finances, that will also come up. And this will also be a time where you'll be looking at your finances and asking yourself, am I getting what I'm worth for my skills and talents? So when it comes to work and what you've been putting in, this will be a time where you'll be looking at that. Am I really getting, my value? Am I being paid my value for my skills and talents? This is a time when people even consider making changes to their career. I wouldn't suggest you do it during the Mercury retrograde though. Give yourself some time after the Mercury retrograde, because that's a better time to sign any contracts. If you have to sign any contracts during the Mercury retrograde in regards to your finances, please reread before your sign. Sometimes we don't see things clearly during the Mercury retrograde phase, and when Mercury goes direct, we're like, oh my goodness, how did I get myself into this deal? So be prepared for that. The good thing about this energy is that if there's any monies or any projects that you've done that owe you money, you can receive it during this time. It's a good time to complete things when it comes to your finances. So if there's anything that you want to complete when it comes to your finances, like if you've been studying something or learning something new and now you can complete it, and this will now enhance your skills and talents, which allows you to earn more so you can pursue that avenue. That will be really good for that. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. My website will be linked down below if you'd like a reading, and also a link for appreciation of these videos.